You're listening to Blind Chats with the Back Road Chicks.
Welcome to the Late Night Cruise.
The Late Night Cruise.
We're your hosts,
Courtney
and Brienne. Buckle in.
It's going to be a wild ride. Okay, we are now recording.
Hey there, hi there, ho there! It's bonus day!
Hello, folks. Welcome
Surprise!
back.
Which is ironically the theme of part of our little bonus.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got just a couple of little side quests here for you.
Ooh, side quests. I like how you pose that.
Right?
Because it's Valentine's Day, and I don't celebrate that hootenanny. And it was just Courtney's birthday a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
We thought we'd give you a little bonus, a V-Day rant, and a little update on the shenanigans.
Oh, there were so many shenanigans.
I'm going to fully hand this over to you so you can explain to our viewers the experience you just had.
Well, all right. Well, I think I'm going to start with the night before.
It was the night before your birthday and all through the house.
It was the night before my birthday. Well, I was hoping to kind of, see a friend of mine who is a little bit more than a friend.
Aww, what's that like? I'm living vicariously through you.
It is still progressing.
Cute. At least you have that. I can't even hold a bird down.
Yeah, he's kind of great.
He's fantastic.
He is pretty fantastic.
We want to shout you out, unsponsored to you, sir.
Yes.
You are the sweetest, most romantic, lovely human who's vicariously renewing my faith in men. Thank you.
Yeah. For
how you treat one of my besties.
Obviously, I will not mention your name on air, but you know who you are. So I was out with you because I promised to dye Brittany's hair because I am one of the few people that she actually trusts to do it.
I don't know why.
Hey, listen. I mean, she could trust you, but that would be a whole ball.
I would do it. I would rock that. I painted cookies at Christmas time.
I know you would.
I drew those pictures. I have evidence.
You wrote cards.
Yo, I did.
We're getting to that. Okay, We're getting there. Okay. Sorry, squirrel. Right. Okay. So, the day before, I had told Brittany that we were going to dye her hair. So, my friend had texted me, and actually, my mother called me in a state. She was kind of having a little bit of a bad day, and I was going to go visit her. So, I said, okay. I was like, but I have to shower first. So once I do that, I'll come over. And then she called me when I was in the shower. And I'm crazy. So I answer the phone in the shower. And
I do too, so it's okay.
Yeah, I think we all, well, okay, maybe not all of us, but the strange ones out there, you all know who you are. You answer the phone in the shower.
I just shower buddy.
Yeah.
It's so dead now, but that's okay. Bye, other bee. Boo boo.
So I answered the phone. My mom said, I'm going to go to my friend's house. It's okay. You don't have to come over. So I texted my friend and I said, so much for that. I was like, I was supposed to go out, but now I'm not. And he texted back with, well, at least you're, good to go for the evening. And he's like, and you never know what surprises may happen.
Rico Suave.
So me being me, I have an inquiring mind and I need to know these things. I said, what kind of surprise?
I don't know who was on edge more, me or you.
I don't know. I don't know.
Come on! I need to know the next message. Let's go! Oh, I didn't even want to get off the phone. Like, type faster, answer faster.
Full disclosure, I absolutely did read the messages to Bree. So she did know what was happening that whole time, and she was a little bit in awe and a little bit, yeah.
It melted my heart, too.
Yeah, a little bit. Not gonna lie, because it was that adorable.
Right?
Anyways, I was basically told, do what you're gonna do, and if I need to, I'll track you down.
So cute! They don't make men like that anymore.
No, they really don't.
Aww.
So I said, okay, well, I am here and I'm at Brittany's house. And I said, do you need me to be anywhere? He's like, nope. He says, you do you. He's like, I'll track you down. I'll find you. I'll make your schedule work for me. So a couple hours later, or a few hours later, I'm not really sure. I lost track of time, but, he texted me and he said, so if I was Courtney, where would I be found?
so cute.
So I said, I'm at Brittany's house. And he's like, well, do you think it would be okay if some random guy showed up? And I was like, absolutely. So I gave him the address and I said, are you going to come see me? And he's like, maybe.
I love everything about it.
Yeah. So, anyways, he texted me once he got there. It was a little bit of a running joke because Brittany had her doorbell stolen. She had a doorbell camera and it was stolen.
Which isn't even funny because that was what illuminated my doorway, so I knew where I was going.
Yeah, hashtag Winnipeg.
Right?
So, next thing I know, he's texting me. He's telling me that he's here, and he showed up with a big bouquet of flowers and a single red rose.
Oh,
and then proceeded to sit with me and you and Brittany, and we sat around and we laughed until midnight.
And what happened at midnight?
And at midnight, Brienne pulls out her phone and, no, actually it was about 10 minutes before because you were sitting on your phone for a while.
I was sitting there twitching. I'm like, gotta get it right at midnight. And
at 11:59, Brittany's like, okay, like, I hate to kick you all out. And Bree's like, no, you have to wait. And then the clock struck midnight. And then it was, yo, shorty, it's your birthday. We gonna party like it's your birthday. So it was a little bit funny. So we said our goodnights. And the plan was to go for breakfast in the morning on Friday.
Wait, can I say one thing?
Yes.
Because I find this so cute.
What?
Your friend, his attention to detail. Like, the man looked your birthday up before it was even your birthday to find out what day it was.
Yes, he did.
And, like, I'm sorry. I don't know if you did or did not do this, sir. But the fact that you got her the flowers she was in love with. Like, how did you know? How did you know? Did you look up to find that out? Like, you sleuthy?
Well, yeah.
Sleuthy man.
I mean, I had posted pictures like probably a week or so before of flowers that I had seen at Costco.
He just pays attention to you.
And like they were the same.
Mm-hmm. The things that matter to you and like the things you say, he remembers. And I just think it's beautiful and I love it.
You're here for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you are totally here for it.
So anyway, breakfast.
So I got to spend the evening with him. Because he wasn't available the day of my birthday.
But he did start your birthday off at midnight.
But he did. He stayed and like, we rang in the date together.
Aww.
So that was so sweet and so wonderful. You know who you are, and you have no idea how much that meant. So after that, in the morning, we were supposed to go for breakfast to Luda's. And you texted me in the morning because you said that you had an appointment in the morning.
I did. I had my therapy appointment.
Yeah. And you said, so you'd call me after, but you said I had to be ready by 9.
Yes.
So I wasn't ready at 9. I got up at 9.
That's all I wanted.
I know. So I got up at 9. I had a shower, and basically at about 10 o'clock, you texted me and you said, I'm so sorry. I have to cancel breakfast.
Which was totally premeditated because my therapy appointment was from 9:15 till 10:15. So I pre-scheduled messages, one to cancel just before 10. And then because I knew you would think that it was because the therapy went really bad and I was emotional.
Yeah.
And then the other next scheduled one was with...
Oh, my clue.
Yes.
My very first clue. So, what I did not realize and was so epic, I was being sent on a scavenger hunt. So the very first clue gave me a shout out for my dad. My dad had recently passed away, and my mom and dad's best friends are kind of like my second parents. So my first clue was go to the home of your second father. So that was my flag. So I knew I had to go. Jim and Marion are my mom and dad's best friends. They are my second parents, and I love them to the ends of the earth. So I showed up at their place at 10:30, and I walked in the door, and Jim said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "I have no idea what I'm doing here." And he kind of grinned at me, and he goes, "I know what you're doing here."
Attaboy, Jim! Woo!
And he handed me an envelope. So that led me to My second clue, which was an inside joke for us. I'm not going to say it on...
I am.
Oh, gosh.
Latte Nazi?
Okay. So the reason behind it is we've gone to the same Timmy's for a few times, and they kept making Bree's drink wrong. So we would go back and we would complain, and we would, but we had gone consistently enough at the same time that the person in the window knew who we were, and we rocked up one day and we ordered what we were ordering.
My pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
And before I could even get it out of my mouth, I'm like, I would like to get a pumpkin spice latte. Oh, we're starting the latte machine's not working right now. I'm like, you lying sack of hoot. No, hell no. You just did not want to make my latte wrong again.
Yeah.
First, you screwed me out of the size I ordered, then you forget my actual kind of latte and give me a plain Jane?
Yeah.
I don't think so, Latte Nazi.
Yeah.
So rude.
Needless to say, that was my second clue. She said, go to the home of the Latte Nazi, and you'll find your next clue in the safe hands of someone whose love is one of a kind.
Aww.
And for me, the one of a kind love is absolutely my mother's love.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so I rocked up to home of this Latte Nazi, and my mom and our friend Lynn, were sitting at a table, and I got to sit and have coffee with them for an hour. And their clue to me was, go to the place where the soups are lit. Your wallet, you eat there every day if your wallet said you could. So that immediately I know is Luda's,
mm-hmm.
which we'll talk about in future.
Yes.
Because we're going to do a restaurant episode for sure. But, so I went to Luda's, and I went up to the counter, and Christy, the hostess, and Tracy in the kitchen, they both wished me a happy birthday. I got a hug from both of them. And Christy said, here's your next clue. And she gave me a zip up, like makeup case kind of thing with a combination lock on it. And she said, I hope you know the password. And I said, nope, sure don't. But then I thought, okay, I have 3 clues. It's a 3-digit combination. The clues they're in the clues somewhere. So I figured it out. It actually only took me a couple minutes, which I was a little bit impressed with.
I was happy.
Because I was pretty quick with that.
Yes.
So the next clue said, I had to go somewhere to find you guys. I had to go somewhere where I could, find some adult candy. My mind went exactly where yours did, dear viewer. It is not an adult store, because the next part of the clue was gadgets and gadgets to enhance the games you play. And let my little nerd heart sing. So anybody that knows me knows that I love gaming, and I love PC gaming because I have built my own PC. And that immediately led me to Memory Express.
Where I found
my bestie! Yay! Which ended in another clue and a gift card for Memory Express. Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Do we know how to write a party or what?
Right? So
thank you, Courtney. Shout outs to you.
Shout outs. So, and that told me that there was another component. They said that this was essentially that my party or my surprise was not today.
Correct.
So, I foolishly thought...
And you thought all you were getting was breakfast!
I foolishly thought that this day was going to be just breakfast. And I was so sorely mistaken. And I also thought that my surprises for the day were done at that point. And you were
so, there was disappointment. I didn't care what you said. I could hear the disappointment. It was amazing.
I think that it was the disappointment in you letting it slip, which I really should know better by now. I really need to. I know better.
You thought we were fools. You were so
yeah.
So
I was totally bowled over. So after we met at Memory Express, we went next door to Darcy's Ark because they had puppies. So we went to go pet some puppies, and how better to spend your birthday than to go snuggle with some cute puppies for a minute, right? So after that, we decided to go for Timmy's, and so we kind of sat and had lunch, and then we decided to kind of break off and go have a nap because my adrenaline was all over the map that day. I was so happy. I was starting to get sick because I had started a cold, and I was like, okay, I'll go for a nap. So I got home at about 3. Yep, I think it was just before 3. And you texted me again and you said, I really want to I want to go out and I want to take you out for something to eat. Because we had gotten soup from Luda's earlier and it just wasn't, she's like, it wasn't hitting right. It wasn't enough. So she's like, come get me. She's like, we'll go at 5:30. So like 4:45, she phones me out of a dead sleep.
I knew you were going to be sleeping.
I was a zombie. Oh my gosh. So she wakes me up. She gets me out of bed. I picked her up at 5:30. We decided to stop for a coffee first because we still had to decide where we wanted to go. Or so I thought. So,
and then Brittany and I got our theatrical game.
Oh my gosh.
On.
This girl goes on about some man drama, and she's bringing on the waterworks, folks.
And I had texted Brittany, I'm like, cue theatrics now.
And I'll preface this by saying that one of my best friends is my guy best friend, and I game. We play video games at night. We play Fortnite. Go Fortnite! We play Fortnite in the evenings. And I was totally hoping that we could do that because it was my birthday. And he texted me while we were in the drive-thru of Tim Hortons.
Why would he do that?
Why would he do that? He texted me and he said, I'm sorry. He's like, I'm sorry, girl. I have to bail on you. I got invited out to play board games tonight. And I was like, okay. So feeding off Brienne's energy, we pulled into the parking lot and we sat and we both cried for a little bit. And I was like, I was a little bit hurt because I was like, oh, well, I get it. He wants to go out, but at the same time, like, dude, it's my birthday.
Right? So we're sitting around having cry fest because we both feel like let down by men.
Yeah, we're both sitting there going, oh, come on.
And then
the phone rings.
And someone else is let down by a man.
And someone else is let down by a man. Or so we think.
How coincidental that we're all sad about boys.
Or so I think. I'm the one getting played like a fiddle here, folks. So Bree's got the waterworks on. Brittany phones and she's ranting about her guy. And like...
Now I'm going off about how rude yours is for canceling you on your birthday.
Yep. And we're just like having it. And, and Brittany goes, I need to get out of the house. She's like, I need to go somewhere. I want to do something. She's like, I want to go and I want to eat something and I want to like sit somewhere and do something. So she's like, I don't want to go through a drive-thru. She's like, because then you can't sit down and have a conversation. She's like, I want to go somewhere where we can sit and talk and do something.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're like, okay, well, what about Jonesy's or what about this? And we're like, oh, well, we don't. And Brittany goes, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Brie goes, oh, chocolate cake! Like, I want chocolate cake! And we're like, okay. And she's like, what about across the board? And then Britt goes, oh yeah. She's like, I was thinking about that the other day. She's like, we're going to try this place, right? And Brie's like, I've had their chocolate cake on Skip the Dishes. She's like, it's epic. We gotta go. She's like, but I think you have to have a reservation. And Britt goes, okay, hang on a sec. So she puts us on hold. And...
quote unquote, the reservation I booked a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, quote unquote, calls the restaurant to book us a table, comes back on the line a couple minutes later and says, okay, she's like, I got us a table for 4 at 7 o'clock. She's like, so we have to at 7. And I was like, okay. So it was about, I think it was like 20 after 6 at this point. So we're like, okay, like we've got a few minutes so we can sit here and we can hang out.
Mm-hmm.
And so we decided to just sit and talk and shoot the shit for a little bit, and then we decided to go.
Meanwhile, I'm texting your guy best friend in the background, making sure all the ducks are lined up. And
don't give away the surprise.
Oh, I know.
Don't do it.
I'm not. I just had to text him.
Okay.
That's all. And Brittany was corralling troops behind the scenes.
Brittany was corralling the troops behind the scenes.
So we had to communicate, and we were purposely, you guys, this is how strategic Brittany and I are. We have custom text tones for each other, so we weren't texting on our normal messages. We actually moved it over to WhatsApp, so I'd have a plain text tone going off so Courtney wouldn't know.
Oh my gosh, I totally heard the other text tones and thought it was nothing.
Exactly, because it's usually like, so we had it all planned out, so we text on WhatsApp, so it comes in code, so she had no idea.
Oh, I'm getting played, folks. This was some next level scheming and shenanigans. So we got downtown. We went like, shout out to Across the Board Cafe. That's a great little place.
Still gotta do the review.
Oh yeah, we're so gonna do that. But so I walked in with Bree in hand. We had a little bit of a snafu with the parking, so it took us a couple minutes. So she's like voice texting Brittany, or what I thought was Brittany, and telling her that we're just a couple minutes late, like we're just paying for parking.
Yeah.
So we got inside and I walked in and I did a double take a couple of times because I thought I saw an old friend sitting there. And I wasn't sure. I haven't seen this friend since June or July. And I wasn't sure that it was her, but I saw her once and it didn't compute. And I saw her again and I was like, oh my gosh. And then the people that were not facing me clicked, and it was Brittany and her guy and her sister, Crystal, and this friend. I'm not going to mention her name because I'm not sure if she's if she's okay with that. But so she was sitting there, and I was like, I ran over to her and I gave her a huge hug, and so we all sat down, and
while that was happening,
I
sent a cue to someone. I was like, now.
Sent a cue to someone. So we're all sitting there, and all of a sudden I feel these hands around my face, and they cover my eyes. And I'm like feeling the hands, and I was like, who is this? And I'm feeling up the arms, and I'm feeling, and there's like a little bit of a beard, and there's some glasses. And it took me until I got to the hair, and I knew immediately who it was. It was my bestie. And
the one that just canceled on you.
The one that had just canceled on me, and I got up, I turned around, I looked him in the eye, and I started crying. I was like, I couldn't believe that he was there, that he, like, showed up, and just, for little old me.
Right? And you wanted to whoop his butt.
I did. I wanted to whoop his butt for 5 minutes, but I didn't really, because I do love him.
And he was not lying. He did get invited out for games.
He did get invited out for board games.
Yep.
So he made that very clear. He's like, I did not lie to you.
Yep, it's true.
Because that's a thing, right? Obviously, like, we don't lie to each other.
And we had to pivot to come up with that because I knew that Courtney was going to pull out, I can't go out until later.
Yeah.
So him and I had to scheme a little, okay, how are we going to get out of the house earlier? I'm like, you got to cancel on her.
Yeah.
I was like, it's the only way.
He was not wanting to do that. He told me after, he's like, I felt so bad.
He did not want to. No, he didn't. Bless his heart. But he did it. Thank you, MVP.
Yeah.
Because it was the only way we could pull off that surprise.
Yeah.
And then we did it. And it was amazing.
And it was absolutely freaking amazing. So we stayed there till midnight. And we played board games, and we ordered food, and we had drinks, and it was just an amazing night. And I can't ever remember feeling so loved and cherished and special. And it was the best birthday I've ever had, for sure, by far. And it wasn't over yet.
But wait, there's more.
So I got a clue at the end of the night in an envelope, and they said, you have this, but you're not allowed to read it until you're alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay. So after taking everybody home at the end of the night, I took my two friends home, which was wonderful because I got to spend some quality time with them and have a chat, because we used to hang out together, and we haven't since June or July. So it was really good to kind of have the three of us together and catch up again and reminisce and have some, actually make some real plans for going forward to hang out again. So after I dropped everybody off, then I opened the clue, and it said, we said in your last one that your surprise was not today. So here's your next clue. You have until 2:15 tomorrow to figure out, will you escape or meet your demise? The clues, man. The clues were so good and on point here, folks. So I deduced that it was an escape room.
That one had you stumped for 20 minutes. I was very happy that one stumped you. That was great.
It did. It had me stumped. And I mean, I was driving and thinking about it at the same time. So I was like, kind of humming and hawing, and I wasn't really sure. And then I sat down and I read it again, and I was like, okay, like, could this be it? Could this be it? So I just texted Brie and I said, escape room ? And she gave me, and the only response I got was the address. So I figured I was right. Which incidentally is the best and the worst part of the next day. So the up and down of this day, I was making good time. I was a little bit early, and thank God I was, because I would not have made it on time. I ended up getting into an accident on the way there. And I stopped, I got all of this person's information, and I still made it on time.
Yes.
I still made it on time, and I showed up to the Real Escape. Shout out, because they have the most amazing escape rooms.
Shout out to Jake! Jake was so sweet to me. Because of my disability,
Jake.
yes.
Yes,
was it right. Caden, our host, our killer? The killer! I got fist bump from the killer.
You got a fist bump from the killer. We did London 1888. But I showed up there, and, the back of my car is very crunched. But I showed up, and my Bree and Brittany and her sister and my guy bestie and my other friend from the night before were also there. So we all did an escape room together.
And we won!
And we did!
We did it!
It was a 27% success rate for that particular room, and we did it with 1:45 left on the clock.
I was just so cool. It was so cool to see the stats after. Yeah. Our team was stacked.
Yeah, we were.
Every person that's played an escape room, every escape room we've done, we've won and beat. Yeah. We had a stacked team.
Yeah, we sure did, folks.
Oh, I thought we died at the end of that one.
I did too, and I was like, because they were telling us, they're like, this is a horror-themed, like, jump scare room, and I was like, can y'all just take it easy on me for a bit? Right? I was like, I was in a car accident on the way here, and they're like, shit, seriously? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay, but, like, please don't jump out at me. Right? I was like, yeah, it's not going to end well.
But all in all, I have to give a shout-out to everyone that we all worked together and came together, kept our mouths shut, and surprised Courtney, and that's what's going to segue into the next topic is it's all out of love.
It's all out of love.
And it was so fun.
I felt so much love, and so I felt so good. And I was like, even being sick the next day and getting into the car accident, like, I mean, anybody that knows me knows that this is my baby.
And this is what I live for. I love surprising people.
Yeah, but it made it okay. Like, it's not okay, really. But in that moment, I was on such a high just from everything and the effort that people had put in and the love and commitment and everything. And I'm so touched and so honored.
Which leads me into Love Day.
Love Day.
Love Valentine's Day. Today. Now it's not about being bitter because I'm single. Yeah, it is about the fact, and I'm going to lead into this, it really grinds my gears that it's become a commercialized, showboating, peacocking, keeping up with the Joneses, outdoing people day. It has nothing to do with love and the person you care about. They jack up prices, they advertise, they make single people feel terrible, they make people in relationships feel terrible. It's just bad. You should not have to jack up the cost of flowers and venues and chocolates and all of that.
No, I agree.
And I think it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting that people will want to put everything in, like, either if it's guys trying to get in a woman's pants or show off for that day just to get some, or showing off your love when you know your relationship's absolutely in shambles just to take the pictures for social media. The more that you post things online, it's usually the less happier that you actually are. And if you really love someone, you show that effort throughout the year.
Absolutely.
Like your birthday, what we did for you.
That was amazing.
You show random surprises, appreciation, and it's not about just because a specific day tells you to. Why do you want to be fake and do something like that? I'd rather support February 15th, half price chocolate day. Let's go to some discounts. Discount celebration and TV day. Let's go.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is you should be showing your love throughout the year. Like if you think of your partner, you write them a sweet little note. You show up with flowers, or at their workplace, or with food, or a back rub, or just little nice, cute things to remind you of them.
I agree.
It's not okay what this day has become, and it makes people feel bad. It makes people who can't afford things feel bad. It makes single people feel bad. It makes people in relationships feel obligated. All on all levels. It's not okay, and I hate it.
I agree.
I hate it.
I totally agree. And I mean, I have always been on the single side of it. Like, great. All of these couples have, somebody to go buy chocolates for, or, have a Valentine, have a quote unquote Valentine. You're like, okay, great. Thank you. That makes me feel bad for being single.
Even in a relationship, I'm like, please don't
don't that's not okay. I will never say that I wouldn't like the gesture.
No, I always be grateful and appreciative.
Yep.
But don't feel obligated. You do you when you think of me. And this leads me into the other love languages are so important. If you haven't ever done it, go to 5lovelanguages.com and figure out your actual love language. There's a whole book about it. It's Gary Chapman's book, I believe.
Really?
Yes.
I've never heard of that.
Always do it when you're single and when you're in a relationship. The 5 love languages are physical touch, quality time, words of affirmation, acts of service, and gifts.
Oh.
And mine are like...
all of them?
Well, no. The funny thing is, mine always used to be words of affirmation, number 1, then quality time, then physical touch, then acts of service, then gifts.
Okay.
But because people's words and actions don't align, mine actually shifted over time to quality time. My quality time's always sitting at like 33%. And then my words of affirmation and physical touch are very close at like 26 and like 25%. And then my acts of service is like, I don't know, 13. And my gifts is always at like 3%.
Interesting.
I don't like gifts. It's not my love language. I like giving. I don't like receiving. Love languages teach you like how you like to receive love.
Yeah.
So it's so important to know, like, even when you're single, it's important to know how you receive love from any relationship of any level, like friends, family, colleagues, how you feel good about yourself.
Yeah, totally.
And same when you're in a relationship. But you and your partner need to know those things about each other to know how they interact. And I find that Valentine's Day is so focused on the gifts
that commercialized.
It is, and that always doesn't align with your love language. Like, that doesn't excite me.
No, exactly.
Like, I'd rather have some, like, show up and give me a hug and a kiss out of nowhere and just tell me you're thinking about me and tell me I'm beautiful. Yep. It was a longer way than, here's a dozen red roses because the day says I have to do that.
And it's, like, 4 times as expensive.
Right?
And, you know, like, I paid for this today. That's how special you are.
Exactly. I'd rather you take me out into the country. I'm so jealous right now because you're getting my dream date. I'm so mad. But I'm so happy for you, but so angry and sad. But it's like, take me out to the country. Let's sit under stars, watch my favorite friggin' ass Northern Lights, and go pick wild flowers. Go pick some wild flowers. Let's frolic through a field. Let's sit beside a bonfire. Let's sit on a boat. Let's, get our boat rocking. Like, let's do something.
Nice. Honestly, like, for me, maybe it's just because I'm not used to anything in terms of attention like that. But, like, go out for coffee with me.
Yes.
Let's sit in the car and talk. Let's go cruising.
Yes.
Let's go do something like...
a walk in the park, holding hands.
Yeah.
Only when you're together. I not hold hands with people. If we don't like each other, that's disgusting. Don't touch my hand. We're not in love. Do not touch my hand.
I kind of like holding hands.
I can't. It's... if we're mutually, like, almost in love and we're together in a committed relationship, let's hold hands. It's so cute and I love it. But if we're not, don't touch my hand.
Like, I mean, honestly,
it's too intimate.
I've never held hands with anybody.
Really?
Well, except
I have only with...
more than a friend.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I've only dated one person where I was comfortable holding his hand.
Really?
Yeah. Interesting. I know. I do not do it at will. If you can even get your hand into mine without me, like, freaking out, that's like next level intimacy. Like, there's something special about you, because do not touch my hands.
See, I'm so not, I don't know.
You'll see it, like, even when, like, my friend, like, Britt grabbed my hand, I'm like, blip, blip. I'm like, I have nothing to do with her, like, don't touch my hand. Danny L had, like, Phil, whatever, walk around and, like, help me. And I'm like, he tried to grab my hand, I'm like, don't touch my hand, we're not married! And I ran away, and I'm like, I can't see what I'm doing, I ran away.
Oh my god.
I'm like, do not touch me, do not hug me.
Yeah, no, I don't have that issue. Oh, hugs.
I know, I love them if I want that person to touch me.
My best friend's hugs are out of this world.
I love those long ones where they hold you and lift you up, and they just hold you for, like, minutes.
I don't even need, I'd like him to hold me for a few minutes, because his hugs are like something else, man. Like, he takes on everything. I don't understand how he does it.
And then they just they just kiss you deeply.
Well, he doesn't do that, but...
but you see what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
Do those things throughout the year. Not this V-Day propaganda, I don't... commercialized crap. Done. Hate it.
No, I totally agree. I think that it should... yeah, exactly.
And I just wanted to say that today, because I don't want anyone feeling bad or alone or obligated or any of those feelings that come up during this holiday. Just remember, this is what they push.
Yep.
in the media. If it wasn't for the media, you probably wouldn't be feeling this way. Don't
Isn't
feel bad
isn't
about yourself.
Valentine's based on a massacre? St. Valentine's Day?
Yeah, but they turn it into some sort of
They turn it into hearts and flowers?
Yeah, and turn it into an opportunity to make money.
Money.
Or make people feel bad.
No.
Moral of the story, do not feel bad about yourself today.
No. Don't do it.
Celebrate yourself. If you love someone and care about them, show them throughout the year. Show your appreciation. Be genuine, authentic.
And if you're going to do something on Valentine's Day, do something simple and basic.
Or just do what your heart tells you when your heart tells you to do it. Not because you feel obligated or forced or guilted or anything like that.
Again, these are just opinions. We are not relationship experts, but this is what we would think about and want. And I guarantee you, we are not alone. We're not alone in these thoughts.
This is true.
This is very true.
That's our bonus.
What do you think? Rant over? Should we let them go and continue about their day?
We should.
Yeah.
If you have any thoughts, any follow-ups, please let us know your take on the day from hell.
Until next time, stay tuned. You're listening to Blind Chats with the Backroad Chicks. Thanks for joining our late night cruise.
For help keeping your drive alive, please tune in next week for more shenanigans.